Alright, folks, let's bring this game to an end. Day 3 of Other Side of Mist and Mountain. I'm sure we could have finished this yesterday, but I wanted to have a little bit of extra time last night, and so we have now to bring this to a close. It could end up being an hour-long stream, it could be 2 or 3. Either way, we have a new menu option here for Final Inclusion. I'm pretty sure that refers to those little, what is it, like thought board things he does at the end of each case, where he puts his thoughts together, but you can't really do too much in it. Endings. Oh, cool. Rescue Kaneko or not? Yeah, the other would have been death. Other side. That's barely a chapter. That's more like... Hello? Continue story. Sorting clues. Kyoko's apartment could have had multiple ways to die, maybe? We did do the soul summoning ritual, which resulted in Sakiko's death, but I'd have to wonder if there would have been other possibilities there. We got everything for chapter 5 apparently. Well, yeah, see? Most of them are just deaths anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The way this chart is organized here does give me a Paranormal Site vibe, except this doesn't have the go back and do things different to affect outcomes and other branches for different characters mechanic that Paranormal Site has. Look at this, there was so much more to do. That's why I figured that this would be a whole stream of its own, because this would not have taken half an hour. Okay. This case is really dangerous. If we're for shortest timely arrival, I'm afraid I wouldn't have I would have already explained it there. So, we read through all of this yesterday, so let's put his thoughts together. The reason for Mutsuki Aishi to come to detective agency? Requesting to investigate whether her boyfriend is cheating. Nah. Her boyfriend has been possessed. Her boyfriend is trying to harm her. That, I think, is a real fear. What is the real purpose of Hiroki Sawada? Suspicious of Mutsuki Aishi's going out in the middle of the night? Feels Mutsuki Aishi's personality has suddenly changed? Strange things have happened in her daily life? He could have felt that she was cheating, since he thought that the cat person in her office was for illicit reasons, but at the most basic, things were weird. The secret hidden in the building cemetery, the research results hidden by Mutsuki Aishi, hidden some research results, the fuzzy boundary and the hidden cat, unknown gravestones, no. It's the cat and the fuzzy boundary between worlds. The dark shadows in the classroom and the old house. Dark shadow? Does he mean the evil version of Child Ghost Mao? Because it's Mao then. What is the crux that troubles Mao? The word crux hasn't been used until this scene. I think it means the death of her autistic brother. Severe depression, relatively common psychological disease, limb hyperplasia, a very rare disease in medicine, or schizophrenia. Okay. So not the emotional crux that troubles her, but the reason she had to go to Kisaragi Station to get cured or whatever is a limb hyperplasia. She's apparently sprouting multiple hers. Toasty. Cause of Shinji Igarashi's death, drowning. Murdered by someone else, suicide, drowned. Mao was out buying him a berry, snuck out but fell into the water, swept away by the current. It was an accident. What was the real reason Hiroki Sawada kidnapped Mutsuki Aishi? To use her to bring Mom back to life. Who is Mutsuki Aishi really? The mermaid in the legend of Uminari Village? Mao's splinter body. Dark side of Mao that arises under negative emotions. Life that arises for some reason. Hey, Swedish guy. Too much text? It is a lot of text. I wanted to change of pace from Spirit Hunter. I thought, okay, how about something with less words in it? And it chose something with so many words. Not as much as a Spirit Hunter, but at the very least, it's funny words because it's very machine translated. What are the conditions under which Mao can be contacted in the real world and the mezzanine world? They've given that in-between world so many different names because the machine translation is inconsistent. Begin in the same space with Mao. Being in the same space with Mao. Hold on. Being in the same space with Mao. Being in the same space with Mao. Combining the first contact with Mao. Combine the first contact with Mao. It should be that we're in the same space range at the same time. Should be in the same space range at the same time. If you're using the phone at the same time. If you're using the phone at the same time, you can have a conversation. That's the same option! In the other world, who's chasing Mao? That'd be the old lady, Shana Okawa. It can be known that the so-called split bodies should be the concentratization of Mao's negative emotions at a certain time. Some people want to get close to Mao and hurt Mao, and other people just hope to be normal people for their whole life. Should be impossible for the split bodies to clearly know whether the other party is their kind. Should it? Because they look very remarkably alike. This can also explain why, although Shana Okawa felt familiar with Kyoko Kamishiro, she couldn't confirm it at the first time. If Shana is supposed to be another version of Mao, then Aishi did confirm to us that they age super fast. So maybe she's an older Ultra Mao? I don't know. But she's got a grandkid. So I don't think that's the case. Mifuyu Kyoko Oko? No, Oko apparently is. Somehow produced a grandkid. Which means that in her very brief existence, she didn't just have to father or mother somebody else, but that somebody else would have produced somebody else. This is 2010. She was born in 1987. She's not that old. If I assume she didn't start... Her split selves don't even survive all that long. They grow old fast and they die fast. That's the whole point of Aishi's whole drama. I'm gonna compartmentalize the fact that Shana Okawa has a grandchild and put it over there. Since I'm not gonna think about it too hard. The game's not exactly worth thinking about it too hard. What is the relationship between them? What about the relationship with Mao? In the dialogue with Mao, it can be known that the strange old lady she mentioned should be Shana Okawa. She should have gone to the world through the mysterious ceremony. Mao is currently being chased by her. No time to rest. Must speed up the investigation, or Mao's life will be in danger. The reasoning is complete. You don't really have to reason too much in it, though. It's very linear, and when it does come to a choice, it's either, no, that's not right, or yes, that's right, let's move on. Which makes me think that this is less him reasoning it out and him having a conclusion and wanting to justify it backwards. While he is immersed in thinking, the mobile phone on his bedside table suddenly rings, interrupting his meditation. His hand trembles as he reaches for the phone, which displays an unfamiliar number. A doubt crosses his mind. Is it I suspect that's supposed to be Mao. He quickly smiled again with self-deprecating and presses answer. A woman's voice comes on the line. Hey, detective. One more case. Unfortunately, our firm is currently on hold from accepting any new commissions. But can't you tell by seeing her silhouette on this audio call it's another Mao? I'm not here to ask for a commission, Shizuno Yokoyama. I'm here to make a deal with you. Tisk! Who are you? Why don't you take a guess? Ma'am, I'm not interested in playing games, so if you have nothing else to do, I'll hang up. Okay, boring detective. I'm Kaneko's landlord. We never actually did meet Mifuyu. We saw her picture on the wall, and she looked a whole lot like Mao. Upon hearing Kaneko's landlord, Shizuno Yokoyama's alertness immediately increased. Kaneko's landlord? Are you that woman called Mifuyu? It doesn't matter who I am. It matters the deal, verbatim. Is there anything in my hand that interests you? Yes, straightforward. I like that. Please say so without beating about the bush. I hear that my precious little pet is now in your possession. That is a living adult, you heartless woman. Mifuyu seemed to be indifferent to such accusations, instead rebutting in a relaxed tone. Oh, detective, to me he's nothing but a lovely little pet. I fed him for a long time. Is that cruel? Shizuno Yokoyama don't want to say much. Cut straight to the point. What do you have that I could trade with? Of course, detective. Otherwise it wouldn't be a deal. I know you're looking for your girlfriend, but you don't seem to know how to approach her. What does that have to do with you? Oh, guess what? Will I, who raised my little pet with my own hands, know how to get to that place? There's a defiant note in the voice of the self-proclaimed Mifuyu. How can I trust your word? You don't have to trust me, because you have no choice but me. Don't go too far. This afternoon, I'll wait for you at Aoki Forest Tori. Bring the cat, and I will tell you the answer you are looking for. I'll leave a map of how to get to Tori at the edge of the forest, but don't keep me waiting too long, detective. You. Without waiting for Shizuno to finish, the woman who claimed to be Mifuyu was hung up the phone. The beep on the other end of the phone is like a chain of cold chains. The beep at the other end of the phone is like a chain of cold chains. Suddenly breaking. Shizuno holds the mobile phone, anger in his heart rolling. He's angry at his own weakness, that he is pulled away by an invisible line. He feels as if he is trapped in a giant spider's web, where every move is expected by the other side, and every choice is nothing more than further entanglement. He stares blankly at the phone screen, as if he could see through the glass and see the hidden truth behind it. His consciousness seems to be immersed in a maze full of thick fog, and the dim street lights in the distance are both symbols of hope and tempting traps. He doesn't know whether the path ahead is a bridge to safety or a bottomless cliff. He reached out with his hand, trying to disperse the fog. But an invisible hand was holding him tightly, not letting him move. At this moment, the sound of the door being pushed open from behind broke his contemplation. Shota Sakurai came back with dinner. This daily small action contrasts sharply with the tense atmosphere on the phone just now, as if suddenly returning from a bizarre dream to calm reality. However, even though the warmth of reality surrounds him, the unease caused by the mysterious power transmitted from the phone at the depths of Shizuno Yokoyama's heart is so hard to calm down. Shota Sakurai's gaze swept over the mobile phone and Shizuno Yokoyama's hand, frowning. "What's the matter? I heard your voice outside the door just now. Was it a sales call from some company?" Yeah, that's why he was pissed off. Shizuno Yokoyama took a deep breath, his voice tinged with weakness. "No, it's a woman. She asked me to bring a cat to her, saying she could get me information about Mao." "Who's that woman?" "The landlord of the previous client. In her room I found Mao's picture." "So are you going?" "Where's she waiting for you?" "She said to meet me at Aoki Forest Tori, where we used to play when we were kids." "This is clearly a trap, you can't go." "I understand, but this is my only clue." Shota Sakurai gently patted Shizuno Yokoyama's shoulder and sighed helplessly. "I know you want to find Mao, but taking risk isn't the answer," he says. "We're already in the hospital. This might be the last clue. I won't miss any possibility." "Then I'll go with you." "No, it's too dangerous. I don't want you involved in all this. If anything happened to you, I'd feel guilty for the rest of my life." See, he does love him. He loves Mao too, I'm sure, but it's been 5 years and Shota is oh so cute. "We're all adults, what's the big deal? One more person is an extra guarantee." "I already feel very guilty. If I let you..." Shizuno Yokoyama's words have not finished. Shota Sakurai. Shizuno Yokoyama's words have not finished. Shota Sakurai interrupted him. The sentence interrupted itself. "Stop saying that. I haven't helped you before, and it would be very fatherly to not let me do it this time." With that, Shota Sakurai opened the door, leaving a word. "I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and we'll figure this out." Late at night, the world has fallen into a deep sleep, only the roadside streetlight shining dim light. A tall female figure strolled along the street and finally receded into a deep alley. On the outskirts of Hinatanuki, in an apartment, the dim night light in the room was gently turned on. This is the house that Mifuyu, the keeper of the cat, newly rented in the suburbs. Look at these balcony rails too. The balcony rail over here kind of turns in on itself. Halfway between the sliding glass door there and that top middle unit. And to the right in the night sky, there is a building window where a star should be. I always suspected from the start that between the textures, the line weight, the lighting, it's all a style that is very heavily favored by AI tools. And the more and more we play this, the more and more it ends up less being, does this artist just have an unfortunate style that looks a whole lot like AI? Becomes, this is just really shitty AI. After the Kaneko incident, plainclothes police officers regularly took turns guarding the apartment because the case had not been solved. Moreover, the cat also ran away in the event, and she herself left some tails there. And returning to the old place is obviously not a wise choice. So Mifiu simply rented a new house in the suburbs, and continued to secretly investigate the place of the cat and the location of the line. Mifiu stretched and slowly walked to the refrigerator, apparently awakened by the thirst of a long sleep and looking for some cool and refreshing comfort. As the refrigerator door opened, the cold light shone out, illuminating Mifiu's face, which bore an astonishing resemblance to Mao Igarashi. It was so beautiful and touching. She was about to get the juice. She's not on Blue Sky, it doesn't exist yet. But the moment she turned around to get a cup, she felt a bone-chilling cold pressing against her neck. Her heartbeat instantly accelerated and the juice bottle in her hand fell uncontrollably. The figure suddenly kicked Mifiu so hard that she almost fell to her knees, and a pair of slender hands with sharp nails quickly cut her hands behind her back. Sharp nails almost penetrated her skin, causing it to burst with blood. Quickly cut her hands, almost penetrated her skin, burst with blood. Which is it? Mifiu did not dare to look back. Her voice trembled like a thin leaf in the night wind. Is this gonna be Kyoko? Because Aishi's dead, Mifuyu's here, Kyoko's unaccounted for. Who the heck are you? The shadow spoke. The voice was female, filled with indifference. Who am I? It doesn't matter. All that matters is finding you. Mifuyu's eyes flashed with tears of fear, but she was suppressed by the air of the dark shadow and could only continue to ask questions with a trembling voice. You, why you come to me? The shadow seemed to be playfully teasing, gently moving the tip of the knife on the woman's delicate face, a faint smile playing at the corner of his lips. Machine translation is very sloppy with pronouns too. Your appearance is quite pleasing to the eye, especially the tear mole at the corner of your eye. I feel pity when I see it. Mifiu was a loss. Speaking of moles, as I was brushing my teeth last night, I noticed a dark mark on my ear and thought, oh my goodness, is this a new mole? Have I noticed a new mole on my face for the first time? And I looked, and I touched it and realized, no, wait. That new mole is just a scab because most mornings, Onyx is picking at my face with his claw to wake me up. Mifiu was at a loss, managing to squeeze out an awkward smile. Thank you? Just then, the faint light of the refrigerator fell on the woman. Kyoko Kamishiro smiled, sliding the back of the knife slowly along Mifuyu's cheek, speaking in a relaxed tone. Rest assured, I'm not coveting your beauty. All I want is your little pet that can see the line. The cat. I don't have that cat anymore. Kyoko's smile froze instantly. She pressed the tip of the knife against Mifuyu's throat, her voice containing an undeniable threat. Not here with you. Then where is he? Tell me now, hurry! At the detective's place. It was that detective who took the cat away. Kyoko holds Mifuyu's chin and forces her to look her in the eye. Her eyes cold stare at Mifiu that is very similar to his face. Mifiu also noticed her face, could not help but pale. Who the hell are you? Why do you look so much like me? Who am I? I'm your closest sister, of course. There was a hint of playfulness in her words, and the blade of the knife slid slowly down Mifiu's face to the neck. Don't be afraid, sister. I didn't mean to scare you. just asking you a few questions. At this time, the mobile phone on the table next to it lit up, attracting the eyes of Kyoko Kamishiro. This AI art is so bad. Kyoko Kamishiro, across the body of Mifuyu, picked up the mobile phone on the table. Her fingerprints were directly unlocked the fingerprint lock of the mobile phone verbatim. The cold light shone on Kyoko's face. After confirming some information, she took her phone and left Mifuyu's apartment. This style is also very, very AI. I mean, look at that lamppost, right? Not only does it kind of fade into a kind of plant stem, but next to it is well, I was gonna say it looks like a signpost that melts into the plant bush, but it looks like it's just some random stake in the ground. But this foliage is very typical of it. I'm very sad to say that when Fennec and I went to see Electric Light Orchestra in San Francisco the other month, for some reason, old Jeff, his visuals for the night was like primarily AI junk. Just morphing around, it's just like this. Which is a real shame, because it is bespoke art, like the whole logo spaceship thing. It looks real cool. I think, oh my goodness, is there gonna be some kind of unifying story? Some unifying theme? But nah, the guy just wants a weird AI random to morph around. Wait, didn't read that part. Shizano Yokoyama stepped into this deep and unfathomable forest, and the surrounding scenery was like an ominous veil, and the endless trees covered the sun that was about to set in the west. Even though it wasn't dusk yet, the light filtering through the treetops was patchy and scattered, as if being toyed with by an invisible hand, giving the air in the forest a strange chill that made one shiver involuntarily. In a trance, the only one thought swirled his consciousness: to find the clue to the other world. Although he had recently suffered a knife wound, fortunately, it didn't hit a vital spot. After emergency treatment and the briefest rest, it no longer hindered his actions. One of those lampposts is just floating in the air, or is attached to a tree. It's tilted at an angle too, so I can't say just floating in midair. It really thinks that the tree is a lamppost. Before Shizano picked it up, a little bird. Oh, the bird took the map! Damn it, the bird carried off the map. But it doesn't get far. We have to find a way to catch it. Okay, so we find a spider. We make the spider rebuild that nest. Lack of axe. I didn't see any bamboo in the previous... Okay, I gotta make a Triforce. Really? I really am just rebooting the web. Ah. Okay, it's done. Finished the weaving minigame was its own achievement, and now I've caught both the bird and a raccoon, apparently. he, he wove a spider web through a connect the dots minigame. He wove the spider web himself, and upon doing it, he catches both the bird and a raccoon that jumped out for the bird. Just caught a bird with the spider web. A raccoon jumped out and took the bird away. It's going to be troublesome again. The leopard cat will usually hide in the hole of the tree. Go find out where it could hide. The hole of the tree? I can't do anything with it. No axe. Fishing rod consists of a hook, bamboo rod, a rope, and a worm. Any worm in the suicide guy that's just hanging here? I'm sorry, I need this rope, I'm sorry. Wow. He's even got a needle in his mouth for whatever reason. Death unknown, remove needle from skull socket achievement. Now don't tell me that axe is too high after pulling down that rope. Okay. There's just so much junk around here. Pliers, flintstone. The lack of stone. Rock. Okay. The bug has a fixed path. Need to block part of its path with rocks. Whoops. Got the worm. Hey! Okay. I need fish for the raccoon, don't I, to get the bird back. Click the screen to start the game. I now have kindling. To attract tanuki, you need some scented food. Some items can change shape after burning. Fire can still burn for a while. Think about how to use it. Go to your room and think about how to use it. Axe the bamboo. And now we should have everything we need to make a fishing pole. What? Click on the screen to keep the buoy inside the moving frame. When the progress bar at the bottom is full, the fishing is successful. Oh, there's a button. Okay, I played enough Stardew Valley. This is just fishing the opposite direction. I feel like fishing is done. The bar's not moving, so yeah, fishing is done. That's okay. Use it to throw the raccoon out of the hole. With this hole? No. That holds nothing, apparently. Heat the iron needle. Okay. Heating the iron needle, then. Needle is made into a fish hook. We're a bit late for that. In fact, I even got an achievement for fishing with the straight needle. And it's still listed as the needle, so it doesn't make a difference either way. Anything else changed with fire? No, fire's done. I can't free the bird! The bird's already been eaten! Map fragment 1. I can't go back. And it's already a little bit of a maze. So fragment 1. Straight and then down is where I came to. There's death and a goal over there. So went down. There's a turn over there. So that's going to be back up, down, and to the right. To the right should be a dead end. Oh, you can't even go to the right. It's so much of a dead end. I don't like how these two are just close together like that. Further down, and then left or right. Hey, piece number 2. There's no point to the right, though, is there? No, that's just saying there's another map fragment here. And death to the left. Save. Show me the death. Oh no, falling off a cliff. He just ran forward without even looking. Okay, so from down, 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 down is death. But what if there's other items? There's no other items. Right down, right down. But what if? There just isn't. I'm pretty sure that if there are any items, it's gonna be at these marks. So there's no point wandering around alternate paths that lead to deaths. So just up, to the right, up, to the right, then up. Oh no! Falling off a cliff! All the way back here. Do I have all the items now? I have 1 and 2. So went down, and I want to make a right. Did I go too far down? I did. Okay, so that puts me here. And then we go right. And then I start going up, right? Because the map ends in the corner there. And then we went up. So I think... Oh, these two pieces fit together. I think I should turn around. Because that corner death in this one fits in this blank space over there. So yeah, turn around. Turn around, up, up, one right, and then up. But there are two ups! Which ups do I want? The first up. And the two ups here is to death or to here then. See, when I see this long horizontal line, I assume that means go right and then up. But the lines don't mean distance, they're all the same length. What are you talking about? What do you mean ending fall off a cliff? That was... I somehow misinterpreted where the map was supposed to go? That can't be right. Also pretty funny how it saves a second map but not 3 or 4. Maybe it's because I chose to click save. And so it saved the state of having the third map. Maybe. Let me see something quick. Okay, the cursor is showing up. Whoops. Well, I guess we're going to see if I got 3 map pieces now. Yay, we do. So, this is where we get the third map, and that puts us right about here. And so I think, yeah, if I go up, the next up I get, I'm going to make a right at the next right, except because I'm starting here at the third map, I make a right, and that's death. Hence, back, down, up, around. Okay. I see where to go now. Then right, because you already have the map piece. So this is a pretty odd thing, since here to here is a whole room length. Here to here is a whole room length. Well, no, that's like an intersection. I don't like this labyrinth because you would think this means, okay, to the right there's a dead end. But it doesn't go to another room. It's just the same size map as the other, just with a little stubby bit to the right. That doesn't mean anything. That's no different than the straightaway down below. And so you would think that with a feature like this, where it branches off forward or right and then up, that okay, I go to this room, go to that room, and then up. But no, this whole thing's one room. It's so awkward. So for this one, where am I? Forward and death are in the same room, and I want the very shallow one to the left. That was the error. And then for this next one, I'm going to want the one to the right. You can't fool me, game. It says right there. The left path is death. The right path is onwards. The right path is onwards, so don't you dare cliff me. The heck? Something is off about that. Could it be that instead of the split path being up here, it's actually one down below, and so going to the right is taking me to that skull by mistake? The only alternative I can think of then is to take the left path, which according to the map, the left path is death. But I guess we'll see then. Maybe this one time and this one time only, we want to take the death path after being trained on the death path being bad. 1, 2. 1, 2. Right is safe. Left is death. That's literally what the map is telling me, and that's what the map has always said. One turn to the right means death. And that's the one right in there. It fits there perfectly. Clearly, there's an undisclosed third death point. Game's broken. Game is caught in a loop of deaths now. What if it actually is because I saved? What if it's actually just these shitty exits being so close to each other, and so it's going up and down when it's not supposed to be going up and down? What if that's what it is? And the more reliable thing to do is to simply use the mouse when they're that close together. I think that's really what's going on. Lucky to finally escape the maze. Finally here at the Torii Gate with faded and mottled paint that's apparently extending into the symmetrical trees on either side of it. Shizuno Yokoyama looked up and stared, a sense of unease welling up in his heart. In the silence, so quiet you could almost hear your own heart beating, a woman's voice quietly broke the silence, and she said, Detective brother, you came a lot slower than I thought. Is the brain rust or the leg trouble? Shizuno Yokoyama suddenly turned around but saw a figure that he had not expected. Kyoko Kamishiro? Why is it you? Wasn't it a message from me for you? Kyoko Kamishiro gently fiddled with the phone in her hand that didn't belong to her, the corner of her mouth hooked up with a smile that was not quite a smile. Gee, I thought you'd figure that out. Did you kill the landlord and then send me that message from her phone? Or are you two working together on this now? You're half right. The soul is unique and I'm very selfish. So how did you make me believe that you can give me a clue? What do you have in exchange for me? Clues? Where's the cat that I asked for? I brought it, but if I don't get anything useful, he might just break free and run. What? Are you still going to spend time with me, Miss Kyoko Kamishiro? Shizuno's provocative gaze was fixed on Kyoko Kamishiro. He wasn't sure if Kyoko Kamishiro would believe his words, but he could only persist in this empty-handed trick with a stiff upper lip. Time seemed to have fallen into a state of stillness again, and Kyoko did not fully believe Shizuno Yokoyama, just quietly watching him, not seeing any change in his expression. Suddenly, Shizuno asked a question that seemed irrelevant to the situation. Kyoko, who the hell are you? This question is like a sudden balm, upset the delicate balance of the field. Kyoko's face changed slightly, as if she were troubled by this direct and profound problem. At this point, does it matter who I am? Her answer was both a question and a rhetorical question, and also a hypothetical question, and a GMO-free question, and a vegan-free question, arsenic-free, lead-free, paint-free. So what's the point of your existence? Killing people? Kyoko Kamishiro's patience seems to be pushed to the limit, and her smile is no longer on her face, behind her back running away, what the heck, replaced by a gloomy to icy expression. Detective, I don't have time to play philosophical games with you. You give me what I want, and I'll give you what you want, now, right now. Tell me your clues first. Yeah, I just shouted too loud, my voice is a little hoarse. I want to say closer. Just then, a sound of breaking branches and leaves broke the deadlock, and Shizuno suddenly turned his head and saw Shota Sakurai running toward him. Don't tell me the cute boy let the cat go free. Kyoko Kamishiro, however, no longer waited, pulled out a knife and lunged at him, determined to end this stalemate in the most direct way. You went for the one good character in the entire game. You leave my boy alone. Shota Sakurai lunged at Shizuno. He saw the knife in Kyoko's hand. In the blink of an eye, he embraced Shizuno Yokoyama, twisting his own and Shizuno's positions, blocking the sudden knife for Shizuno. Shizuno wasted his time going after Mao, but look, it turns out that Shota really did love him the most after all. Kyoko's action is swift and cruel. She will Shizuno hard push away, then put the knife point against Shota Sakurai's neck. Is that what you call a fucking cat? Catboy, but yes. Pretty provocative of the Lord. Let him go. He has nothing to do with this. I could consider giving you a more critical item. The cat is delirious and useless. I kind of figured this late in the game, but Shota was gonna come with us. There's gonna be some kind of disaster. Still want to play tricks with me? You think I wouldn't dare to kill him? With a slight force of her hand, the tip of the knife cut a bloody mark on Sakurai's neck. Shizuno Yokoyama's pupils suddenly narrowed. His heart sank in a painful struggle, and he didn't want to lose anymore. Finally, he took a deep breath and closed his eyes. I'll give you the stuff. Oh, I forgot to get my death counter up, hold on. Let's estimate that to roughly 5 deaths from the labyrinth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. He slowly took the cell phone out of his pocket. A cell phone connected to countless clues and secrets, and tossed it towards Kyoko. Kyoko Kamishiro quickly caught the phone with one hand, and a smirk crossed her lips. If only you had been this obedient earlier, detective boy. However, her smile disappeared in an instant. Her hand suddenly exerted force. The knife was like a reaper's scythe reaping life. Shota Sakurai's throat was brutally cut open and blood ruthlessly gushed out. Goodbye, detective. Kyoko Kamishiro forcefully pushed Shota towards Shizuno, holding her phone with a cold laugh and left. Shizuno Yokoyama quickly held the fallen Shota Sakurai. His hands eagerly pressed the bloody wound. As soon as Shota insisted on coming, and Shizuno said, "No, it's too dangerous." Is that not 10 death flags at once? And hey, at least his throat is fine, despite the narrative saying otherwise. Shota, don't die! The rescue doctors will arrive soon. They just have to come up to the mountains and then go through a whole maze to get here, with cliffs on either side. Shizuno Yokoyama, fingers shaking, fumbled out the mobile phone, dialed 119, but as a former police officer, he knew that this cut the carotid artery knife. They cut the carotid artery knife! Has been unable to return to the day. After the phone call, he hugged Shota Sakurai, who gradually lost the temperature of life. Tears filled his eyes. The knife, Swedish guy. You gotta find her this time, bro. Although the eyes of Shota Sakurai are full of fear and unwillingness, but still with the last strength to squeeze out this sentence. Before long, the doctors arrived in a hurry. They were just down the path. They were following right behind us, apparently. And the sound of their footsteps, their conversations, and the beeps of their equipment seemed to Shizuno from a distant world. They brought all this stuff with them through the maze. It turns out there's a more direct road right to the right, with a clinic at the bottom of the mountain in case campers and hikers get lost. He just stared into Sakurai's eyes, witnessing the once bright eyes had completely lost their luster. Shota Sakurai's life was declared over when the doctor arrived. Shizuno Yokoyama was then taken by the police to record a statement. Why do I feel like this is going to be a prolonged game over? We lost our cell phone with all the information in it. We still have the cat tied up in the office, so unless the cat's view of the lines gives us a way to get to the other world, this feels like a prolonged way towards getting to game over, try again. When he walked out of the police station, it was already dark, and Shizuno's heart was full of chaos and confusion. Let's go to Aoki Forest again. With this idea in mind, Shizuno set foot on the bleak mountain road like a walking corpse. In a trance, he seems to have come to the same forest, where the torii stood in the mist, as if it were a gateway to another world. But not in the evening under the sun. On the top of the torii, there was a huge door that had never been seen before. Its heavy wooden door covered with moss and cracks. On top of the torii, on the gate itself. Or on top of, as in above. And the torii is here, the stairs go up, and it's at the top? Such an abrupt building does not seem to exist in this world at all. Man, that is when it gets beyond. than on top of it directly. He looked up at the door, its presence so incredible that it seemed big enough to swallow everything. A searing pain ran from the outside of his thigh, and his hand reached into his pocket, where he had found a key in the mysterious divination shop. Oh yeah, the key that Grandma gave to us. At that moment, it was emitting a subtle heat in his palm. This key, as if endowed with some mysterious power, has an ineffable connection with this door. Somebody fed good omens to the AI. A gust of wind penetrated through the door gap, carrying an unknown scent. It seemed that on the other side of the door there was a secret waiting to be discovered. His heartbeat accelerated, and a mixture of fear and anticipation spread in his chest. He took a deep breath, gripped the hot key tightly, and prepared to face the unknown world. Those bushes on the side, those purple bushes, look very Dr. Seussian. It's got those Zelda keys. You use it up once and it dissolves into ash. Oh, Ghost Shota helping us out. As the door slowly opened, a harsh but familiar light shone directly into Shizuno Yokoyama's slightly narrowed eyes. His pupils contracted in an instant, adjusting to the sudden brightness. As the light softened, his vision began to clear and the scene began to unfold. The scene behind the door was surprisingly a creepy and rundown station. Kisaragi Station! No, Kisaragi Station's coming up apparently. Can't go to the right. More keys to collect. Just shimmy your fingers in there. No file. I like how it gives a solution when facing a puzzle for the first time. No scraper. I mean, come on, man. It's in chronological order. So whenever the Kisaragi Station train is going to be after 2142. Unless I have to personally move the hands of the clock to make the train arrive. Suitcase looks a lot like Mao's. Password should be related to an important item related to her. Okay, that's gonna be the only Octaverse he picked up and carried on since 0932 under student ID. Jigsaw piece and some gloves. Up, right, down, left, and an eyeball. I'm going to need more eyeballs. Okay, non-deciding puzzle. It's just one of these. Click it until it gets to the right orientation ones. But which one's the upper? Just a jigsaw piece to complete this. Well, the picture's right there. Big eye, little eye, house in the middle. Except the pieces don't want to turn correctly. There we go. How I click it matters too. That's why I was confused. Done? Sir, I'm done. Nothing's out of place. Right? Looks right to me. Yeah. So, what does it want? It's fixed. Was this one just for funsies? I don't see anything out of place. Okay. Gonna find a way to get in, pretty close to the truth. No minute hand. File. In the middle of some bird guts. No key. Alright, so up, down, left, right refers to these eyes, that's the combination. File for the key. This was apparently just for fun. No scraper. Use the file as a scraper. It's got two functions. He's got time to wear down the metal with a little nail file until the metal eventually breaks, but he can't think to use it to strip off a little bit of paint. He's still got the file too. He's got the file and the key. Either one could be used to scrape this off. You got two scrapers. 3 if he counts the ID. Upright, down, left. Upright, down, left. Up is 4. Right is 3. Down is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And left is 1. 4, 3, 5, 1. The minute hand. And now we just gotta get the scraper so we can see what time we gotta put in. And then the train will magically arrive. But happens I put other times in there. What if I put Yamada Station 7:39? Hey, Chillin' Chum. I don't think it matters. I don't think it's going to accept anything except for the proper time to Kisaragi Station. Now give me the scraper. A hand. Is a hand my scraper? Picking up food for drive. Ooh. Enjoy the food and the drive. No scraper, though. I got a ticket. Jigsaw piece. I feel like the scraper is going to be inside this painting, but the painting is solved. The painting is solved. Chidinchum, lend me your, like, you can't lend me your eyes, you're an audio only. I was gonna say though, that doesn't this, it's just like that. That is a solved picture. It is exactly as it should be. There's no other way that this picture could be oriented and maintain cohesion. It is done. There's something hinky in the top right. You think so, Swedish guy? Oh. Oh. You were right. Swedish guy's eyes got it. $11:10. Change the time to 11:10. And like magic, the train arrives. That was pretty hard to tell. I mean, I figured the jagged lines is just how it looked. Especially with it being black and white in the sky. Ticket checked. Chatting with the Mystery Club again for the first time in how long? Already late, is everyone online? Someone is coming to the other world again, don't let her run away. Once you get on the tram, you can't run away, can you? There's no gossip, but isn't this a weird forum? I have a question for everyone. Anyway, I'm bored, let's play with her. Have you heard the word Kisaragi Station? What kind of place is it? Kisaragi Station is the entrance to the other world. A station that's only one-way entry. Real. It's a dangerous place, so try to find a way out. Hurry, leave. How can normal people still live in the underworld? Well, I guess it'll be assimilated soon. You can't even finish typing. Have to go to Kisaragi Station, a personal matter. If you have any information, please. This is 2005, this is way back when. Let her go to the conductor's room, and let that elusive guy scare her. Great, go to wash her fun, huh? Don't feel like stopping yet? So I'll go to the conductor's room first. Conductor's condition seems a bit strange, that's Mouse, wasn't it? I guess her next sentence is, a conductor doesn't look like a living person. It feels he's so awkward, he doesn't look like a living person. Look, what did I say? It is dark outside and foggy. I just passed through a tunnel, light ahead like a station. Seems to be stopping. Hurry up and get off. Come back and be a part of us. Now it parks at Kisaragi Station. The environment outside looks very strange. I am thinking about whether to get off. She got off the tram! Don't worry, if she doesn't get off, she'll die faster. Which is true, that was her first game over. She's got a lot of nerve. She's really exploring her surroundings. Could she be a detective? It's an empty station. It's open and foggy. Will she cry when she discovers the secrets of the other world? I'm really looking forward to it. Truly bad taste, but if something really happened, there might not even be time to cry. Anyway, thanks for everyone's concern and suggestions. I've arrived at Kisaragi Station. The building here looks very dilapidated. I won't show you what they look like specifically. I'm dying of laughter. She even thanked us. I'm sorry. I wasn't kidding about anything I said. I have to go deal with my own business. She's gone deeper. This is getting interesting. Haha. And then we get to send now. This is our phone. She's a no in the upper left. All of our contacts. Is this Kyoko going through the old chats? What exactly are you? You should have already exceeded the conventional category of human, right? Usually the conductor knows something. Should we ask the conductor? The conductor's room is usually at the end of the forward direction. It's good to go ask. They're trying to pull the same trick as 5 years ago. Can you stop pretending? It's disgusting. You are an intruder. Interesting, interesting. I don't have time for your bullshit. Don't rush to type. There's only one thing they didn't lie about. If you don't go to the driver's cabin to make a look, you might not get any closer to the truth. That might be a requirement. The administrator has enabled mute mode for all members. At 20 minutes and 20 seconds after midnight. Can't talk to that guy. How far left could I go? Not very. Can't look at Mao's luggage. Same cloth as the first time through. Tram conductor, have you seen a girl? Short black hair, just turned 9. Sir, please return to your seat. Have you seen a girl about this tall with chestnut hair, just past her shoulders, carrying a blue suitcase that we just passed that was sitting on a seat? Sir, please return to your seat. What's the next station? It's Kisaragi Station. Please return to your seat. Shizuno Yokoyama knows that. It seems that the conductor will not answer other questions except station-related. Dab, 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 dab. Oh, it's the girl from before. Does this mean she's chasing us again? More bloody birds. Is she the bloody bird? I can't go to the right. Can't leave from the doors of the train is moving. What even is this thing I'm looking at on the wall here? I've been on a few trains and trams, and can't tell exactly what this is supposed to be. Running door can actually open? Want to jump? Let's get the game over, don't jump. Is everything just an illusion? Maybe jumping out would have been death then. Is that weird forum a monitor for the other world? Administrator has lifted the global mute mode for all users. What a pity! He almost jumped! Let's make a bet. See if he could survive in that world. He definitely won't survive. That's what you said about the little girl before, but she's still alive. You really owe me. I thought Kyoko had our phone, though. Only you could decide how far left you can go. Gonna be back later, chillin' chum. Alright. Enjoy your drive. Speaking of deciding how far left we can go, we got our ballots in for early voting. And so Fennec and I are spending our evenings going through, deciding who to vote for, and it's really easy so far. If there's an R, it's a clear disqualifier, and that halves our choices. And so now we gotta dig through all the non-partisan positions and dig through all the ballots, because we got plenty, or the, what is it? The propositions. We got plenty of material and propaganda on any given proposition being good or bad, especially as this is a rural part of California that's big into agriculture. And so we could like vote yes on this to to put limits on the factory farms and restrictions on them. And it's no on this, because that's gonna hurt the small farmers, that's everyday you and me. And it's like, alright, the propaganda could go either direction. Is this really about animal welfare? Is this really about small independent family farmers? I don't trust any of you guys. Especially since the we're all you and me small independent farmers thing just shows a lot of old white folk with the same last names. So someone's got to do his research to see what's actually what. A little girl. Are they talking about Mao? That's great, Mao's alive. I must find her and bring her back. As soon as Shizuno Yokoyama stepped out of the tram door, he was surrounded by a sharp and fresh air. I wish there was a button to make the text disappear to appreciate the the CGs, cause it looks like the rail tracks just end close to the bottom. Sounds different than when farmers protest in Europe. Well, the thing is, it's not exactly like small-scale sheep farmers out of the desert, right? It's basically a business. It's a family business, especially with the value of land and property. It's not like you're just putting out a homestead. If they're a small independent farmer here, chances are, even if you're just some personal house on the hill with a big expanse of land to put your goats and a couple of crops, some farms, it's not some farms, some cows to hold on to for the local dairy companies to keep them fed until it's time for the milking and mass or whatever. Even then, you got money. This isn't exactly, you know, the little guys, right? This is if this is an issue that's going to affect you. The closest thing to down to the earth, dirty fingernails, working class is the migrant workers that you got picking and growing for you. Otherwise you're basically, you know, upper middle class, at a minimum landowner. So it's hard to feel too much sympathy, so I do gotta do my research to see what exactly these things are actually about. You and me both, Swedish guy. You and me both. The best that Fennec and I can do is a really crappy apartment. As soon as Shizuno Yokoyama stepped out the tram door, he was surrounded by sharp and fresh air, couldn't help but take a deep breath, allowing his lungs to feel the purity different from the carriage. His mind was a little more settled, but he knew he couldn't relax until he found Mao. His steps began to creep along the path in front of him, and although he wasn't sure where Mao was, his intuition told him that it was right to continue along the path. Surrounded by a layer of mist, and mountain! There's mist and mountain! As with the boundary between reality and fantasy, it is difficult to recognize. Occasionally, when looking up in the distance, one can see the majestic outline of snow-capped mountains, plural, appearing almost surreal. On clear days of their hometown, I can catch a glimpse of Mount Fuji's majestic figure. But when he tried to take a good look, the mist covered his vision again. His eyes searched through the fog, trying to find some iconic building to deduce where he was. Yet nothing seemed to be around except the spreading mist. The outline of the building is swallowed up by the mist, leaving only a hazy space. The night wind penetrated his collar, bringing a chill to his bones. As Shizuno's steps quickened, his heart beat faster. The mist grew thicker all around, as if it would swallow everything. The air was vaguely damp and musty, as if it were a mixture of all the depressing emotions of the real world. As Mao said, That world is a projection of the real world. Everything is so familiar, but so strange. The outline of the Ferris wheel looms in the sea of mist. And that's not going to be important. Shizuno is sure that here is a projection of the capital. The Ferris wheel is located in an amusement park in the city center, and the good memories they have in this amusement park become the beacon he pursues at this time. When Shizuno reached the entrance of the amusement park, he seemed to see a familiar figure in the mist. That figure seemed to be avoiding something terrifying, its blurred outline appearing lost and helpless. Shizuno quickly walked to the amusement park and leaned toward the figure. The closer he got to the figure, the stronger the conviction that throbbed in his heart. The figure must be Mao. What if Mao is still excreting alternate evil negative versions of herself? And so now there's like dozens of her, because it's been 5 years now, that's swarming along here. Finally, to see you this moment, why I began to hesitate in fear. Afraid it's not you, and all that? Afraid it's not really you, and you're in danger? Suddenly, a voice like a madman's mumbling sounded in the fog, full of madness and malice, interrupting Shizuno's thoughts. Shizuno looked back and took a deep breath of the cool mist. Running in the direction of the Mao, or look for the source of the raving. Sorry, Mao, but I want to seek a game over, and going for the source of a madman's scream sounds like a great way to die. Difficulty in the Common Mind achievement. When they're about to reunite with Lan. Who's Lan? The surroundings were shrouded with a vast white fog, no different from just now. The source of the mumbling was erratic, sometimes high-pitched and sharp like a mad woman's roar, sometimes low and slow like a stone mill being pushed. Mao was running to me. This whispering faintly let me feel very dangerous. I must first eliminate the danger, to keep her from being hurt, and our reunion from happening. I'm sorry, Mao, just give me a second. The mist was slippery like a snake, winding around Shizuno's neck, waist, and limbs. The thin mist seemed to have life, turning into vines of the mountains, making one's limbs heavy, breathing difficult, and senses much duller. Were you looking for me? A woman's voice whispered in his ear, shocking Shizuno to the point of instant stiffness. Damn, he's getting turned on by Kyoko now. All it takes is a little whispering into his ear in the misty mountains. A heavy wooden stick swung out of the mist and hit Shizuno in the head, and he slowly slipped against a tree and passed out. Yo, bro, why aren't you rushing to embrace your lover? It seems you prefer to be with me. Kyoko Kamishiro slowly emerged behind the tree with a scary smile. Thanks to you staying here. If he had run to the open ground, there would really be no way to ambush you, this vigilant guy. Ha ha ha. If you had run to the open ground, there'd be no way to ambush. But you would have found out where Mao was, right? She was gonna follow me to get to her. What a wonderful reunion. Now, let's wait for your girlfriend together and witness my rebirth. Ending achieved. Difficult to reconcile. What did I say? Going after the maddening screams was obviously the wrong choice. The direction of Mao. Mao, I miss you so much. It's been 5 years, never gonna find you, yada yada. It's going way too fast. Aw, he's shedding his first tear in 5 years since the last dried up. Success meets Lan, is what the achievement says. In the simplified Chinese, it's supposed to be Lan and not Mao. Because here it has her as Mao Igarashi, but the achievements keep saying reunite with Lan. Maybe in the Chinese version, they give the love interest and girlfriend a Chinese name for the Chinese viewers and players to waifu over. But for the Japanese, maybe English. So it's like, alright, Japanese setting, let's give her a Japanese name. The Japanese fans will like that. The weeb fans will like that. Shizuno began to run with endless yearning and overwhelming emotions. And the figure gradually became clear and seemed to reach out to him. The two of them came to a halt, standing facing each other just a few steps apart. Both individuals fell silent, the words caught in their throats. Because the text is machine translated, common enough in Chinese games, normally think nothing of it, and the art is very machine AI, I have to wonder if the music is too. Like, did they just go, give me some sentimental piano, and put whatever they were given? Shizuno, did you really come to see me? You really came to see me? Wherever you may go, even if it's the depths of the abyss, I will find you. A gentle breeze blew away the mist, carrying with it a flurry of cherry blossoms dancing in the air. Without warning, Shizuno opened his arms and embraced Mao. He held her so tightly, as if her petite body was going to embed into his. They're gonna do a reverse anglerfish. He's gonna squeeze her until she becomes just a pair of gonads hanging off of his shoulder. Shizuno, we... Mao started to cry. She has so much to say about her own body, the fate of the split body, the world in front of her, the imminent danger. Shh, don't talk. I'm afraid that once you speak, you'll disappear. Don't be afraid of anything, I'm here. Shizuno responded gently. I was gonna say, there's nowhere they're gonna get their happy ending without a final confrontation. Oh, I'll go on. Double boss fight? Shizuno, take me away from here, I'm terrified. Okay, let's go. Do you have a way to get out of here? We spent all this time wondering how to get in, we didn't think about that. And someone is still trying to kill me. A complex emotion showed on Mao's pale face. Of course, I have a key. A key of the caged bird. The caged bird was Mao all along! Like he said, the caged bird with the key is so sad because it still needs external help to get out. It brought me here, and it will inevitably take us back. As for the person who's trying to kill you, it's Shano Okawa, isn't it? Actually, there's a woman who has been dealing with me in secret, and I think they'll show up soon. They are no match for me in a head-on confrontation. I'm a detective after all. But it's easier to dodge an open attack than a hidden one. We need to get moving quickly. Please hold my hand, Shizuno. With the key of the cage brother to quickly say that leaving Kyoko. Leaving them behind, that's it. There's no final confrontation, they're just gone. Oh, pretty fast. Why aren't you chasing? I must first clarify your position. Even if we kill Mao Igarashi, only one of us can obtain the complete soul. Be sure of this. I won't go easy when the time comes. My body is about to collapse. I don't care about that. All I want is for them to experience my pain. Again, if Okawa is another branch of Mao, I'm not going to think about how she somehow didn't just survive to old age, but produced a child that in turn produced a grandchild. When Mao disappeared in 2005, around the time she was 18, and started producing buds of herself around, what, 10, 11? And these things aren't supposed to survive all that long. So, there should be no way for her, Okawa, to have survived as a split Mao long enough to produce a child that in turn produces another grandchild. But to survive long enough for the next and next generation to produce, unless if these things reproduce with humans, then they also produce children without souls that age super fast. But also they have lives. Kyoko had a life and a childhood friend. Aishi had a job. And a very nice townhouse. I'm not gonna think about it. Maybe the people in the chat room who are clearly ghosts or spirits themselves or some kind of mischievous demon, maybe they set up these branching selves with apartments and jobs and identities. Like I said, there's things to think about in the game, but the game's not exactly worth thinking that deep into. It seems that the death of Shinji and the death of the child you adopted have deeply affected you. Adopted. Okay, that's one question solved. Stop babbling. They've run away. Do you have the key to that world? Kyoko smiled as she waved her phone. See, she had my phone. So what was I using to communicate with the forum? Let's go. Follow them slowly. And when they let their guard down, strike a fatal blow. I'm familiar with this job. Haste makes wakes. You have to be patient. Oof! Kisaragi Station. Here we are again. What a feeling. Shizuno tightly gripped Mao's hand, and her little hand was cold. I won't let you leave me again. Mao looked up with a pale face and smiled. Did you just say you're a detective? I thought you would become a police officer after graduation. How long has it been since we last met? It's been 5 years. How has time passed for her in the spirit world for 5 years? Because she has to, like, eat, sleep, everything else. Has she been finding food in that realm? Or is she basically frozen, and she's still her 2005 self? I did become a police officer at first, but well, now I'm a private detective. I ran a detective agency, got involved in a series of events, and luckily I finally found you. Your detective agency, what's the name? It's ours, called Arashia. Let's go back and talk. It's still not safe here. Trying to blow some pressure in my ear. Thank you, Shizuno. Talking for a long while is fine. Shizuno finally finds Mao the most valuable in his life. They continue accepting commissions in Arashia and go back to the former places they had dates at their leisure time. With mobile phones as a medium, Kyoko and Okawa have also come into this world. They lurk in the dark, ready to move. The two elderly people who secretly support Shizuno and Mao often chat together now. They will continue to pay attention to and protect this young couple because similar experiences to each other. So this is the epilogue then, huh? The main couple have their happily ever after. The wicked copies of her continue to plot from the shadows. The old couple are happy together. After Kanako's recovery, she goes to visit the returning Shizuno and Mao, expressing her sincere wishes for their reunion. Returning to this world, Mao and her father gather together, and the three of them go to pay homage to Shinji, hoping that his soul on the other side will be comforted. Hustle and bustle, cherry blossoms wither, bloom, wither moments. And that's it. That's end. It doesn't even give me credits. Are there even credits? Did any human touch this? I was hoping for credits because I actually wanted to see if there was any art credits to it. So, I don't know if they have a sequel planned, because that felt very... And it goes on, right? Because the bad guys are still out there and still plotting, so stay tuned for the next one, right? Kind of thing. I don't think it's for the sequel. There's no credits. Let me see what the Steam store page has to say. Misted Mountain, store page. It lists Universe Studio for developer and publisher. But instead of having a studio page, it just takes you to a search. No AI disclosure. The tags don't include it. Well, I guess gotta be the first English review to bring it to light then. So, with the lack of a credits page, and with the lack of a studio page, I'm going to assume that not a single human hand touched this. Some of those puzzles definitely weren't tied to human brains either. Universe Studio. Of course, Google gives me Universal Studios. Will quotation mark work on this modern Google? UniverseStudios.org, bring astronomy to all, let's go. I do think that's it. Recording studio, producer, music therapy, music lessons on Instagram, that's not it. IGN, Universe Studio Games. I could imagine there's probably many Universe Studios. No. Other Side of Misted Mountain and Slam City are the two credits IGN gives. Just a synopsis of the game itself. Minus Universal. Universe Studio Visual Novel Database. Lan Yu Shan Zi Biduan. Her name's right in there. In Japan, Arashi Toyama no Kanata. Not giving me anything about, like, people who actually made it. Look at that SteamDB. 69.97% rating, 64 up, 19 down, 1 in-game. 1 in-game. I wonder who that could possibly be. Social media. The publisher has a Twitter account. Only the publisher. A Twitter for the publisher, YouTube for the publisher. There's a Discord invite. For the publisher only. Maybe I'll join and see what others have to say. "2P Games, China-based indie game publisher, Sultan's Game, The Hungry Lamb," you played that one. Immortal Life and more. I'm not seeing anything on the publisher's Twitter for this game. Maybe as soon as it was out, they moved on. They got a whole lot for other stuff. Oh yeah, Sultan's Game. Seen that in my Steam Discovery queue a few times. And absolutely nothing for Missing Mountain. Out and done, and they move on out. Okay. Well, separate ways. What's the split here? There's a split in the forest. Well, that's before the labyrinth even. Kyoko's apartment. Fatal Blade, blank, blank, blank. I think there's just gonna be 3 different times getting caught with her. But there was one option in the apartment for do the soul summoning ritual or go after Kyoko. Maybe I'll see what the go after Kyoko option would have been. The choice here, rescue Kanako or go after the cat. I'm sure going after the cat will be a game over too, so let's look at that. Struggle to catch up with the prisoner. crying, went as fast as he could towards the door. Threw himself on his back. They struggled. Body slam. Elbow strike. Arm lock. This mechanic never shows up anywhere else where you have a limited time to press the button. I don't want to be free, just want to see her again. Same. According to Shuzuna. Stabbed twice and fell to the ground. And then he flees anyway, so we learn nothing going after him. That's why I opted not to chase after him the first time. I figured, well, we got this girl bleeding out. We could always get him later. A sharp pain in his legs, the trousers soon became wet. The guy's a masochist. Kaneko's quiet body is so quiet that ups and downs of her breathing cannot be seen clearly. Temperature of her body rapidly fading. Ambulance too slow. Tied Kaneko to his back with his coat, crawled out the door. Kaneko's body slid off Shizuno's back, hit the ground hard. Dead! Kaneko's head slipped down again and again. She's dead, man. She's gone. Cold handcuffs controlled his wrists to the iron bed. Kaneko dies, and he's a suspect in this timeline. Scene's been cleaned up like you said. Mifuyu has the police on her control. That's surprising. Did a lot for you. When could I see you again? Am I entitled to see you again now? So, the Mifuyu clone is something of a vamp. Ending achieved behind bars. Locked up with chains achievement. Okay, what about? Let's get the easy death at the end if he jumped out. Let's jump out of the train. There are some interesting ideas in the game, like that supernatural chat room that's actually spirits. And then jump. Ending achieved, alternate ending. Ending achieved, they didn't even try! No text, no scene, no nothing. Not even a title, just alternative ending. Okay, let's try going after Kyoko then. I forget this stuff here, but it shouldn't take us too long to clear through this. The puzzles here weren't too hard. September 19, 0919. Sakiko, best friend, cut the crap. Minute hand is missing. Clock's missing its hands. Okay, how do I do this one? This was down, then there, but it doesn't go all the way there. So move you in, then put you up, down, then down. Bathroom key. Place to hide. Didn't use the same password. Screwdriver, they can't just smash it. Fluorescent powder, turn the lights off, get the clue. The minute hand was inside the toilet apparently. That is a huge bidet next to it too. Such a difficult puzzle. Zero 99 199 19 199 00919. Ghost Girl, run! They really made Sakiko look like an absolute zombie. The way she just runs around. Really trying to get me killed here? Holding my breath till I pass out and start snoring? What if I stay in the closet? An hour later. This time we got nothing, as if someone was hiding something. All traces erased cleanly, so second game over for here then. Stab, wait too long so the room gets scrubbed. And then Kyoko insists she never commissions Suzuno. That's why you gotta get their signature, man. Ending blind pursuit. Hesitate and miss the clue. Where's it gonna put me? Okay. I don't gotta repeat too many things then. Try opening the closet door. If you're gonna check it 3 times, just swing the door wide open. You might as well. I mean, she's even all bloody and everything, but I don't think she's meant to be bloody. Because she's only bloody when she doesn't trust you, and then once she trusts you, her face magically cleans up, and she goes from zombie ghost girl to completely cute. So either everyone is a ghost, whose state is dependent upon their emotional state, or AR art is just shitty, and it's like, give me a bloodshot girl that looks creepy, and it gave them a bloody Sadako. Or bloodshot eye girl who looks creepy. She's dropped a screwdriver! Okay, so it was 199-00919? The steps for the ritual if I want to pursue it, but this time I want to try something different. What a complex puzzle. I still can't make him say that Kyoko isn't trustworthy. Confront Kyoko Kamishiro. Last time we chose to check the mirror, this time we'll confront. Maybe step into Arayashi from the beginning. So this also gives the alternative name for Mao. Instead of Igarashi, she's... No. Arashiya is the detective agency. Never mind, I was confused. But she does get 3 different names between throughout the game, the achievements calling her Lan, and the ending cutscenes giving her a different name again. I don't think this will open up a different path. I think that the game is very linear in what kind of story you get, and any branches just get you to failures. So yeah, just another dead end. Never sees Kyoko again, leaves completely. Alarms regret. Carelessly startle the snake is a text for that achievement. So, all full out here, all full out there. There's still one other thing missing here. Failing to the rituals for the next step on. So, what would be the last game over for this one? It can't be the electric box. Fatal blade as if you're stabbed. What if it's suffocating to death? If you hold your breath so long that you pass out, maybe that's it. Just gotta solve all these puzzles again. Only have to get so far as activating the chase. bathroom key. I could hide right now in there, but there's no point. So I can't hide in there, actually. Is this all I need to complete the photograph? And that starts a chase. Then out she goes. Okay, this time hold breath till I die. Maybe it's not hold breath till I die, that probably just makes him stop holding his breath. Maybe it gets caught in the closet. No, there we go, new ending. Low lung capacity. Quietly suffocate to death. Cool. So that is now all filled out. Break and enter, body to the sea, soul scattered corridor. So I guess that means that Sakiko dies anyway. And so nothing with the... Oops. It looks like not all deaths matter anyway, because you can die here in the interrogation too, and nothing happens. Like, you die, but it doesn't lead to a death. Maybe just counts it as Fatal Blade repeated. And then all that, we cleared out pretty thoroughly. So it looks to me like 100% then. No, because there's something in the forest we haven't done. But I don't want to go back to the forest to see what's missing. Is it the fishing hook? Because I got one achievement for doing the fishing minigame with the straight needle. And I could also heat the needle to bend it. Mostly, I didn't want to repeat through this because I really can't be bothered. It's very lenient, but it's just a time waster. It's actually impossible to suffocate yourself by holding your breath. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Swedish guy. Like, maybe I could hold my breath long enough to pass out, but then I would just be sleeping and would start breathing normally and snoring. Turns out that while the active mind might be comfortable with, like, alright team, let's go ahead and suffocate ourselves to death, the unconscious mind's like, nah fam, I'm fine just sleeping on through. But that's the ending they gave us. Thanks Zelda Games for making puzzles like that intuitive for me. Absolute nonsense is this game in a nutshell. With the, to include using a dots connection minigame to manually weave a spider web with his bare hands to catch a bird. How am I going to catch this bird? Let me weave this spider web bit by bit by bit. There's a hole to the trunk here, but that didn't become anything. So how could I get some other death here? There's pliers. I don't think I used the pliers. There's no map to get into danger. Okay. Okay, the ending is just going without the map. He's actually part spider. So let me see what achievements are left then, because it should be... That's all the endings. 45 out of 50, 90%. Currently missing. Perform demon exorcism using the drum without making a mistake. Alright. Complete the forest maze path with only one map fragment, a challenge. Draw 3 different tarot cards from the fortune teller. Receive interpretations. Tool pliers not obtained to burn iron needle. That sounds like just fish normally without picking up the pliers then. And then one hidden achievement is probably get every other achievement. Thankfully, if I just go to global achievements, it tells me exactly what it is if I click. Love letter, send the written letter to Mount Mio. That's 4 names now. Mao, Igarashi, Lan, Arashi, and now Mio. Written letter to Mio through the mailbox. But I've done that. That's the normal part of the gameplay. That's when you're in the Between World. The Between World also has 5 different names. Well, I'm going to count the game as fully harvested for stream purposes then. And I think I can now safely say it really did just call it alternative endings. That it's not really worth it. The story has little interesting bits here or there. There's certainly some nice ideas in it. I don't like to call games and development lazy because making games is hard. Coordinating different teams to make one final product regardless of quality is hard. So, a game can be so many things, but lazy it is not. But given how much of it is really plainly obvious AI that gets worse and worse as the game goes on, hire artists, Universe Studios. If you're gonna make a second game, just hire an artist. Even if the art, even shitty art would have been fine, but art aside, the story wasn't that really in-depth, right? Which wouldn't be the worst thing if the game to go with it. The puzzles are either really, really brain dead, just click on through to go back to the thing and click the thing again, or the most esoteric stuff you've ever seen. I've shown Schubert, and Schubert could not make heads or tails about the lines puzzle with the 056, the 4, and the 748. He thinks he's missing context. I'm swearing to him that he has all the information that the player is given. He's like, well, I don't know about the code's inputs. What's the code going to be used for? Little Orange, I promise you none of that matters, because all you get is 6 columns of lines and 6 numbers, and that's supposed to get you the code. The code comes later. That's a separate puzzle. That's a separate thing entirely. Either really brain-dead puzzles, or really boring stock puzzles, or a couple of really illogical logic puzzles. And so, the chore of getting through this to try to find some interesting stuff. I say just pass. I thought it was interesting since the Steam page didn't disclose the AI like it normally does. Pretty cool when it does do it though. And sometimes I do get on the fence about some things, right? Because ultimately, generative AI is a thing that wants to replace artists and voice actors and studios doing hard work to make cool stuff. Because some executive thinks, well, if I push a button, I get shitty infinite content. Why don't the consumers want to give me infinite money for my super cheap, shitty, infinite content machine content? But like tech and games have used AI since forever, like procedural map generation, random values for different enemies and loot tables, like computer AI behavior. We don't think about that being as negative AI, right? That's just standard stuff. And this whole thing kind of muddies the waters a bit, so sometimes there'll be a disclaimer on certain games that look interesting that say, well, this thing is generated this way, and I'll think, well, that doesn't sound too bad then. That sounds almost like how we've always used AI in gaming. But that's a tangent. Like, the gameplay puzzles make it a chore to get through the game. And while there's interesting things in here, story-wise, a lot of those interesting things are probably going to see done better in other games with very good bespoke human art anyway. Like, this whole thing here gives me a big Paranormal Sight vibe. I say just play Paranormal Sight. If this interests you, if you want to play a spooky investigative game with timelines and hopefully cool art and a cool spooky investigative story about the supernatural, just play Paranormal Sight. I feel like this is probably Paranormal Sight inspired. Oh shit, the cops are onto me! But yeah, this one doesn't get my vote. But it looked cool. And the disclaimers weren't there. And I was kind of interested in how a game with such a cool-looking Steam store page with an interesting premise would be of such mixed reviews. The Chinese reviews I can't read, naturally, and the English reviews are either, oh yeah, this is so cool and fun, with only really one negative one, being, well, I got soft-locked, and other people got soft-locked, and the devs didn't listen to us, and now I have to watch YouTubers and streamers who must be idiots because they run around in circles getting stuck on a puzzle. I don't know who you are, but if you want to play the game, by all means. Didn't get the soft-locked, but I could kind of see why it reviewed as mixed as it was. Maybe I'll put some of those Chinese reviews into Google Translate and see what their criticisms might have been. Because now I can totally understand why it's mixed. My review's gonna be a negative. My review of the game is no real point buying it. Just play Paranormal Sight. It's Temu Paranormal Sight, with increasingly worse AI art as it goes on. And that means, dear friends of mine, that means we are done for the day. I did say that this was going to be a shorter stream because it was very, very clear last time that we were at the end. We just didn't know how long the at the end would go for. Would it be 1 hour? 2 hours? We squeezed out 2.5 by seeking out the other game overs. So it might have been able to fit. Is there anybody cool online right now? Not really. It's a Saturday afternoon here, which I guess means most people are having their lives. But hey, folks, this means it's only a few hours until Dank Movie Nights if you partake with NK's community. And the easy thing is, if you don't, Dank Movie Night is a pretty easy thing to Google. I keep forgetting to follow you, Swedish guy. You are cool and online, but not streaming. My intent has always been that I'll catch you when you are streaming, and then drop you a follow. But because I haven't followed you yet, I haven't caught you streaming, so it becomes a circular thing. A follow when Swedish guy is on, but I can't see when Swedish guy is on, so I haven't followed. So I can't jump you with a surprise follow. So I think I'll just do it now. There. I got 250 channel points for following, which puts me up to 300. I had 50 earlier from quietly stalking and biding my time. Alright, but I think I'm gonna call it here now. The game was certainly an experience. And if nothing else, I could say that it has given me some laughs. But now I want to play Paranormal Site again. Actually, before I go offline, I have to think about what's next. Because we're only halfway through October. Well, there's one full week and then Halloween. So do I want to stream anything else as a spooky month project? Let me see. Where is my display capture? Because like if I go to my wish list, right? My wish list is just where I've been dumping any interesting game that I think, oh hey, that might sound halfway cool. Silent Hill 2, I'll leave that to the speedrunners and the dedicated retro horror community. And like spooky horror-wise, there's certainly a few things that has caught my eye. But most of them also seem like kind of long-form, text-heavy things that I was hoping to break the trend of by switching away from Spirit Hunter and then fell right back into here. Either that or they're like room-by-room exploration things that I don't know how long that's gonna go either. So I'm not sure if I want to pick up something new. I don't think Succubus is Switch friendly. I'm not sure if I want to start something new right now. If I'm not going to have the time to fully devote, you know? If I've only got like functionally 1.5 weeks. If I want to count Fenix Stays Off when I hang out with him too, Halloween times. In my library, I've got a few interesting things here as well. Bunny Graveyard was fun. They're switching away from their one game with the DLC model to, okay, this is the first game, we're doing sequels now. One achievement missing, the elusive fishing thing. I always got so close last year but couldn't actually get the final fish. Just under half the players are able to get 30 fish. Golden Idol's got an update, but not DLC. But it's got a release date for the sequel now, doesn't it? That's coming out, but not anytime soon. Serialized Killer, was that interesting? What I've actually got, though. A couple years back, we played Castlevania Lords of Shadow, which I played back in the 360 days, and enjoyed, adored it. And then played Lords of Shadow 2, which is definitely more action, but was so goofy. Especially with the scale, because Gabriel's this big, and the game world is this big. Gabriel is the tiniest man in the world. But I had forgotten that I also picked up Mirrors of Fate around the same time as... Ignore that. Around the same time as the rest of the Lords of Shadow series. So we could do Mirrors of Fate. People enjoyed Mirrors of Fate as kind of a 3D side-scrolling Castlevania kind of thing. I got it. We could play it. And I did miss out when it was new, so maybe. We'll have to see, though. Because like I said, there's not much time left in October, and I don't know how long Mirrors of Fate is going to be. I'm getting to do it. I might just have to do it. That's also a real cutscene heavy time for the Castlevania series too, so even as a 3D side-scroller, it's gonna want to talk. That's gonna be more time taken, so I'm gonna have to see. Plus it's gonna be a Metroidvania kind of thing, right? That's gonna be more time too. There's gonna be exploration, there's gonna be backtracking. It's gonna be so much. Can I squeeze in so much? Either way, I'll think of something. Either we'll count the Spook Month projects complete between Spirit Hunter NG and Beyond Mist and Mountain, whatever it's called, Other Side of Mist and Mountain. Or we'll squeeze in one or two more things. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Till then, folks, thanks for hanging out. This has been a ride. Enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, and I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves.